Well, hi, this is Jared Polak, founder of Entree Results. It is great to be back with another dynamic podcast today. Last time in one of my previous podcasts, I spoke a little bit about the BASS selling model or the BASS process. And the B, it's an acronym, BASS. The B stands for build a relationship. The A stands for ask great questions. The first S stands for solve a need. And the final S stands for secure a next step. And we went over that previously. We're not going to cover that in detail today, but as you go through the BASS selling model, naturally during certain points, most likely when you get to that second, between that the A and the S, you will experience some type of objections from your prospective client. And today, I want to talk a little bit about overcoming objections. Now, besides asking for the business, this seems like the number two or possibly the number one most feared part of sales is overcoming objections. And I think it's because people have the wrong mindset to begin with. Now, when we talk about overcoming objections, I want to kind of state a couple things. First and foremost, your product and service isn't going to be a good fit for every single person you come in contact with. So you never try to sell something that you don't believe is really going to help and benefit someone. And that's the underlying mindset. However, a lot of times when people go through the sales process, because they don't understand or because we didn't do a great job of communicating to that point, they just come up with objections, or sometimes, to be honest with you, see people just object to certain things just because they feel like it's something that they should do if they're interacting with someone that's a sales professional. Therefore, we need to have a model which is going to help overcome objections. Now, this model that I'm going to share is also really good for just communication in general, meaning if you have if you're talking to anyone about anything and someone has an objection to what you're discussing, this is a great communication model. And it's also an acronym called RACC, racking. So you have to rack someone is the acronym, RACC. And now the R stands for restate. The A stands for answer. The C is check. And I'm going to explain what that means, like CHECK, check. And the final C is continue. Restate, answer, check, continue. And the goal of overcoming objections is really to make sure that, one, you don't gloss over any apprehensions that anyone has, but really you want to get to the core of the issue. Because a lot of people, they throw out objections that aren't really true, but they have a core underlying objection that is true. And so the goal is to really get to the point where you get to the heart of the objection for your prospective client. And then if you're able to answer that and provide a solution, then you move forward. And if you're not able to answer it, well, then sometimes you're just not able to answer it. And so again, not every single person becomes a client. However, I would not want my fear and your fear to keep me in the way of really helping someone benefit from our products and services. And so here's how it looks a little bit practically speaking. If you, let's just say your product or your service is $1,000. As you're going through the BASS selling model, you might get to the point where your prospective client might say, wow, $1,000 it's a little steep for me, or it's way too much for me, or it's not going to fit within my budget. And say you're farther along in the BASS selling process, and then you might rack them. You might restate kind of things you've heard them say so far. Now, I heard you say that you love the benefit of what this service can give for you. These are the ways that it can help you, but the investment's a little bit steep for you to take on all at once. Is that what I'm hearing you say? So you restate the objection, then you answer it. Now the answer could be, it sounds like all up front $1,000 is too much, but were you aware that we could break that $1,000 into 6 months of monthly payments? Would that be a better fit for you? So you're answering their objection. Their objection is $1,000 is too much, probably too much all at once. You answer that by offering monthly investment, a monthly payment. And then once you answer that, you check. And that could be just a nod of the head. That could just be, would that work for you? You want them to make sure that you're in agreement before you move on. And if they give you the nod and they say, yes, that would work much better, then you continue with the BAS selling model. It's really that easy. And a lot of times you're going to have to go through RAC a few times before you get to the core issue. And then when you get to the core issue, you're going to either be able to solve their objection and take care of their need, or you're not. But the reality is, at least you get to that point where you know and everyone's on the same page and you have an open line of communication. Anyway, that is the RAC selling model. So I want to encourage you, or the RAC overcoming objections model. So I want to encourage you to do that, take action, have fun as you go through the BAS selling process, as you overcome objections and become a better communicator in general. It's a great model. I encourage you to take action, have fun. Best of luck in selling this week.